And we are recording. Welcome, everyone. This is your host, Abraham L. Jaguar, a professional game master. First of all, this channel is proudly sponsored by Detri Studios, the publishers and developers of Dames of Asstoria, a tabletop role-playing game where you play as monster girls, experiencing high adventure in a world that doesn't fully accept them. They have recently released Daughters of Lamb. This is a pay-what-you-want tabletop RPG, where you get to play as cybernetic nuns with guns, looking for the missing pieces of their AI god. You will find it in the description and in the pinned comment. This channel is also proudly sponsored by the Red Room Publishing. Please check out their store for exclusive tabletop RPG products. They have recently released Savage Swords. This is a Conan-inspired tabletop role-playing game where you get to explore ancient civilizations and confront forgotten nightmares. You will find it in the description and in the pinned comment as well. Today, we are continuing the Quick and Classic Asteria campaign. As always, we have our excellent players here, starting with David, playing the role of Odo. Thank you for being here, David. And I wanted to ask, do you think that Pip is trustworthy now that he has revealed his demonic nature?
Well, thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure. About Peep, the demon in the shape of a gnome, Odo doesn't trust him. Absolutely. But it could be some sort of advantage in our struggle against the evil. So let's see. But I don't trust him very much.
Yes, it's always tricky with those entities, with those beings. Now we also have. By the way, for those of you that do not know, probably a lot of you already know, but Dave is the author of Weekend Classic of the system we are using today. Definitely check it out. It's available on Amazon, and he's also the designer of Versus, a competitive adventure game. So definitely check it out. And we also have another author with us. We have Derek, the author of the Forgotten Fate. If you like Dungeons and Dragons 5th Edition and JRPGs, definitely check it out. Thank you for being here, Derek. And tell me, do you think there is a lot to explore in Shark?
Always happy to be here. And yeah, even though, I mean, it seems like half the city was pretty well wrecked by a zombie plague, but we still have, it sounds like a whole half of the city that was fortified and, had a lot more resources guarding it. So probably the half with a lot more social pillars, social intrigue kind of action, since that's where the wealthy who, sound like from prior interactions go by aliases and act through intermediaries. So a lot of good, kind of classic intrigue and manipulation going on there. So pretty excited for that. Yeah.
Excellent. Now we also have Giovanni playing the role of Munin. Giovanni is also a dungeon master. He's running his campaign and now he's participating as a player. Now, Giovanni, thank you for being here as usual. Do you think the bell, the demonic bell, has many other uses and secrets beyond what you have seen from the bell?
Oh, absolutely, and it's going to be something that we're going to have to um, continue exploring carefully because clearly there's two sides of of it. Like it's a double-edged sword. It can help, but it can hurt. But I'm like really interested in figuring out what the uses may be and how we can discover them and how we can control what we can control and how we can tamper what we can't control and all of that. Especially as the one person who can interact with it in the group, I'm particularly invested in it.
Almost like being a hacker with a very advanced computer system. It's a bit risky. Depends. And welcome, Sam. Thank you for being here. Sam is he's like now he has become a veteran of my games. So thank you once again, Sam. And what do you think about the agents of Shark that have contacted you? Do you think they have good intentions? They are up to no good or something in between? What do you think?
Interesting. Thanks for having me here. First of all, we have a great group. I really enjoy this. So now we are back to Shark, and we have an opportunity to meet this agent in the Shark nobility. I think we have an opportunity maybe for new alliances, identifying common enemies and friends. I mean, outside family trust is very limited. We are so close, we're one family, but outside, maybe we find some new alliances. Maybe this mysterious agent can be somebody who can help us in our quests, and let's see how this goes.
That is true, that is wise. For those of you that haven't seen the other parts of the campaign, please check out the playlist below. Just to sum things up, the group has recently thwarted a zombie plague. The eastern part of Shark, of the city they are currently at, has been decimated, but Western Shark still remains, and they were contacted by mysterious agents from Western Shark. They were escorted into a building at the entrance of Western Shark. They were healed by some casters inside of the building, and now they have been seated in chairs in front of an individual who is about to make his presence known. And so it begins. Luxurious wooden chairs have been offered to you, and in front of you, in this room, lighted by torches on the walls, and that has various arrow slits both on the walls and in the ceiling. In front of you is seated a man dressed in black robes, his face hidden away. Only his piercing blue eyes can be seen, white skin, and he speaks to you all. It is an honor to finally meet the saviors of Eastern Shark. I am the first agent. My men have been following your progress, but you are still a mystery to us. How should I refer to you, a gentleman and lady?
I take a seat in one of the two centermost chairs, cross my legs, fold my arms, and say, well, my name is Heliara, and we are, as you noted, adventurers, mercenaries. We're pleased to have gotten the attention of someone who represents such a powerful individual as yourself.
Pleasure. And what about your companions?
I am Odo, man at arms, and I will let my sister and my brothers to have the talk. I already talked with my through my axe blows, if that speaks for me.
We are
Ah,
collectively known as the Brotherhood of Iron. It is the name of our mercenary company. We are brothers and sisters, all brothers in the blade, at least.
it is wise to put your trust on the most reliable thing in the world, the weapons. They never let you down as long as you maintain them and you know how to use them.
Indeed.
Very well. But just for curiosity's sake, what should I call your other two companions?
Um,
I am
um,
Man.
I see.
and you can call me Peter. And thank you for having us here. I'll also take a seat.
Pleasure, yes, indeed. The reward for stopping the zombie problem we had. I already know my agents and even some of our specialists in divination have ascertained that you were responsible for stopping this calamity from becoming even worse. The reward was 50 florins, but my master, Mr. R, will not only double the reward to 100 florins. I have bad news, but good news. The bad news: pirates attacked the docks. The ships have been destroyed, some of them stolen, including yours, as I was told by one of the guards at the piers. But here comes the good news. my master will give you a fully equipped sailing boat. I would say it's even better than the one you had for longer journeys. And he's also rewarding you with a carriage and 2 horses. They have food for 3 days and water for the horses as well. It is all in the carriage. I hope you
Miss,
are pleased with the reward.
yes, Mr. R is most generous. We thank you on him on your through you as well.
Not all of the nobility appreciates your efforts. The western part of Shark was well guarded by magical sigils. The undead could not penetrate such barriers, but an agent such as I know that it is only a matter of time until the enemy forces find a way around such defenses. Sadly, the nobles will never want to bend to outsiders or even commoners as they consider you to be, surely. But Mr. R is most pleased with your efforts, and if possible, he would like to provide information.
I would be most interested in that. Your master is wise. Not everyone realizes that their neighbor's house being ablaze is a threat to their own only in time.
You mentioned
That is correct.
um,
Excuse me.
you mentioned Mr. R, who is your master. Does he have a face he would like to share with us? Because you see, we come here openly. You can see our faces. You can see who we are.
The situation between the nobility in Western Shark is very precarious. Most noblemen have short lives, and they are replaced quickly by their descendants, relatives, or closest friends. Mr. R has been long lived by keeping his identity a secret, just like his agents.
It is a cultural thing, I say in clarification to Peter. They've all tended to maintain anonymity. Recall the posters of the bounties, none of them provided their direct identity, simply a moniker, an alias. That is fine, I say to Gage.
And what is your purpose here?
Oh. Mercenaries are always seeking work. One must ever continue forward momentum, or your blade will get rusty, your pocket will become empty of coin, and life will cease to have any zest. But so far, we've found perhaps more excitement than we'd intended. This small region was beset by numerous threats, so mercenaries like ourselves, we eat well here, it would seem. Plenty of work.
Perhaps things will be a bit more calm now that the zombie plague has been taken care of and the pirates have been chased away. But you never know when they are about to return. The docks have been well guarded now. We have stationed more guards. We were distracted trying to fend off these zombies, and that's why they got through our defenses.
Did the pirates attack concurrent with the undead attack the other night against the Eastern Sharks territories?
That is a very sharp observation. I believe it was too convenient, almost as if they knew that the undead would assault our city at that very moment.
Yes, even if they didn't, they're vile opportunists, but some sort of collusion is certainly suggested.
It is possible.
Your master, this information he wanted to impart to us, did he intend to do so through you, or did he want something closer to a direct meeting for that exchange?
He always acts through his agents. In this case, I usually only appear before those individuals that are of particular interest to my master. The man known as the first agent makes a sign, audible signal, and another agent walks into the room holding a scroll. He hands it over to Raisha. the first agent speaks. In that scroll, you will find directions to all of the points of interest within Western Shark. I have already made arrangements so that you are given free passage into Western Shark. The information in the Shark channel can now be revealed. I hope you will find the directions clear enough.
Thank you very much, and through you, Mr. R. Now, Brothers in Iron, should we pass through to Western Shark, or did you have any other questions for the fine agent who has given us so much generosity already? Your master's gifts of horse and carriage and ship and whatnot, I assume we are to claim those at some point in the future in Western Shark?
Yes, the carriage has been stationed just outside, heavily guarded, as appropriate,
Most kind.
as well as the ship. You will find it in the docks to the side of the city.
Most kind. We thank you.
Well, is there any chance we could have new armor? Assuming we could be on a quest for you soon. Me and my brother Moonin would need 2 suits of chain armor.
That is a sensible request. After all, perhaps we may need your assistance in future endeavors. Suits of armor will be provided. The agent raises his voice. 2 suits of armor, as the man requested, please. You will find the suits ready as soon as you leave this building. Of course, they will have to take a few moments to adjust them to your bodies, but consider it done.
I
Thank
make a
you.
vague gesture in Peter's direction and add, if
Thank
such
you.
generosity is being extended, my comrade here and myself prefer lighter armor, leathers, and the like, should you have any at your disposal. But you've already given us so much. If you wished us to simply purchase our own in Western Shark, I would certainly understand.
No, as a matter of fact, we actually have several suits of agents that valiantly died during the zombie menace. If you don't mind them being somewhat stained with their blood, they are yours.
We wouldn't last very long as sellswords if bloodstains frightened us off. You have my gratitude.
It's an honor to have a shield and that has fought through blood and steel. Thank you for this.
One more question, my kind sir. Are we granted safe passage between Western and Eastern Shark, or are we to remain at this point in the Western part?
You are granted safe passage. In fact, if it is possible, you may actually whistle as loud as you can. If you cannot whistle, you could yell, agents. And if there's an agent nearby, he could provide assistance. Keep in mind, though, we are not numerous, so don't expect us to assist you at every turn.
And I would assume other nobility of Western Shark also have their own agents, or is this a practice only of your own benefactor?
They also have their own agents, but unlike us, they never reveal themselves, not even by code names. We have no idea who they are. We are currently investigating to have an edge upon those agents, over those agents, as we suspect that there are nefarious forces at work in Western Shark, and they are surely aware of your presence. Watch your backs.
I don't want to force you to elaborate on matters that are forbidden, but it certainly seems like there's, shall we say, at the very least, a bit of competitiveness between the nobility of the West and, I would assume, a great deal of intrigue between those who act on their behalf. Your master seems, based on limited information, different from the others, more less myopic in his thinking, more aware of the big picture, that what harms one harms all. Is that a fair characterization?
You could say that, and it's more of a case, you did not hear this from me, but there are commoners that speak that perhaps there are nobles that are more loyal to King Ralph rather than Shark.
I lean forward, steepling my fingers, and say, "And would you characterize Mr. R as someone loyal to his people, the people of Shark, first and foremost?"
Certainly, without a doubt.
Then I'm happy to call him a friend. If he wishes, if he is willing, I would certainly be interested in continuing our conversations with whatever sort of safety protocols you or he require to feel comfortable with that.
It will be best to keep our communications to the minimum. In fact, we won't be contacting you in a few days, as we don't want the other nobles to think that you are of particular value to us. That could also put you at greater risk.
Given the mask and all the, careful steps he's taken, right, I know that he's going to be hard to read, but I still take a moment to try to size him up to see if he's being candid and forthright with us as best as I can tell.
There is a mix of honesty and holding back information, as he sometimes squinted for an instant, for barely an instant.
So, but if your master does wish to contact us in a few days, if nothing takes us away from the city, would you like us to remain in Western Shark?
Yes, here in Shark, people come and go, and with the permission, come and go between Western Shark and Eastern Shark. We could have need of you, but if you wish to leave the city for a while, that could also be advantageous, as the other nobles and their agents could think that you are not of particular importance.
Hmm, I see. Does your master know of a traveler by the name of Palamon? We were told that he owed, not myself, but a prior member of our organization a small sum of money. I don't know if Palamon is a common name, but
At the mention of the name Palamon, the agent straightens up and tenses for an instant and speaks. Palamon has always been a mystery to us. We saw him enter not only Eastern Shark but Western Shark without our authorization, surely under the protection of some other nobleman. We do not know if he is still in Western Shark, but at the very least we saw him 3 days ago in the Western section.
if we were to attempt to find the man to collect this pittance of a debt, where would you advise we begin looking?
We are not sure, but he was last spotted by our agents at the Alchemist.
I thank you for that. It will give us something to do while we pass the time.
Good luck. I wish you especially good luck with Palamon. He is a very slippery individual. There are all sorts of rumors about him. Some describe him as a villain, others as a hero. We are uncertain. Our intelligence network is still gathering information on him.
We might not even seek the same man. Again, it could be a mere coincidence of names, but I thank you.
Yes, perhaps.
I wish to see Western Shark. Comrades, are you ready to set off?
Yes, let's.
Thank you again, First Agent. This has been a most fortuitous meeting.
Indeed.
Your generosity
Fared
is
well.
much welcome.
It's my pleasure.
I try on the light armor to ensure it does fit properly.
Agents step into the room and assist you with the suits of armor. And after a few minutes, you're properly dressed and equipped.
Ah, much better now.
You look a
Given
lot
that
better,
the
Otto.
Ah,
Yeah, a lot better protected this time.
yeah.
This feels good. Brothers in iron, sister in iron. We have left our mule at the Eastern Tavern, as well as a few other personal belongings. At some point, we
Munin
should
suddenly
go and
remembers that the mule died during the zombie plague.
I saw at least 5 zombies feasting on the pure beast.
My cloak is still there. At some point, I would like to recuperate that if possible. But shall we go explore the beauties of Western Shark? I would not
That is
mind a
fine with me.
glass of fine wine rather than the dribble we've been tasting in Eastern Shark.
I take a brief moment to examine the armor I'm wearing, given that the man wearing it died, just to ensure it offers proper protection, or to see if it has any obvious need for repairs.
The armor looks functional by the stains of blood near the neck. It was a clear decapitation.
This suit of armor didn't do the poor bastard who wore it any good. Well, yes, I agree. Let's see the West.
I've happened to see nice ladies walking around in this town. I would be curious to, know some of them if possible. What about visiting a tavern?
Once we step out of the meeting, I wait until we have taken several steps away and then several more to ensure that there are no immediate ears.
Eavesdroppers.
I do assume that we are being followed and listened to, so I take particular care in keeping my voice low as I speak to my brothers and sister. Brothers, sister, let us remember that we're trying to stay incognito. 2 of us have given our actual names. Please be careful. We are being followed. They told us as much. And we still don't know who we can trust.
Yes.
I would be extremely cautious of any information we are given and the reason why we are given it. Let's try to see if we can find Palamon. That should be our first priority. But let's not reveal anything we don't have to in this search.
Agreed.
You-
I don't know
you-
how much they bought my flimsy story about a debt collection, but it seemed better than a more complex excuse. And do what you can, all of you, to try to maintain, as Moonin said, a bit more anonymity going forward. Giving our real names, our real relationships, only invites scrutiny, the kind we don't want.
Munin, I think you do have a point here. I mean, maybe it was not strategically correct to mention the bell with the demonic goat that you carry for us.
We
But
did not
I think-
mention that.
Yes, we did not exactly, and I was thinking about it, but I think it's better.
And nor shall we.
Yes, but still, it is a mystery.
No, let's
don't-
keep everything. It is, and we'll try to find out as much about it as we can. But we shall maintain as
You are
For a
breaking up.
moment, Munin
low a profile
experiences some strange trance. He goes into deep trance or meditation as
possible.
he senses the energies around him.
Agreed. Lower profiles going forward, and the alchemist might be our best lead to find out more about Palamon, but given the time of night, it very well likely could be closed. We could try it, or simply do as you suggested and find a tavern. I would suggest that we all get in the habit. Remember, this is Moon, our comrade. That's the identity he's given. I'm Heliara. Each of you, if you wish to, well, you've already given your name, so it's a bit too late, but get in the habit of keeping our cover, yes, and we'll a tavern seems as good a place as any for the night. Get a room, and in the morning, see if we can learn any more about Palamon at the Alchemist. Agreed?
Agreed. I mean,
Very good.
if we don't need to look suspicious. So I will have some talk to ladies after all, as long as I don't give my real name. Being on our own for just silent in the corner could draw more attention than if we mix a little bit with the locals. What do you say?
It would be staying in character for mercenaries who've recently been paid to carouse. And yes, if you wish to live the part for verisimilitude, of course, don't let me stop you.
Okay.
They definitely have a network of people who know things. It felt to me that they did know a lot of things about us. Maybe they follow us somehow, and they definitely know what we did, how we helped Shark. But okay, let's try to keep the information on a need-to-know basis. But yeah, definitely.
Tomorrow morning, I suggest we also visit the library and the magic shop. Those might be also places where Palamon might be visiting. If he's visited the Alchemist, those seem to be thematically in keeping.
Absolutely. And also with the money we've recently came into, I would like to purchase a bow, something to fight from a distance, but that's not exactly high on the priority list.
Oh,
Every
there is an arms
business
dealer, so that seems like a stop we can make for sure.
Absolutely. But it is a late night and this city has suffered a great deal. I doubt any businesses are operating.
Let's go to the tavern.
go to the tavern. Yes.
Off we go.
I follow the instructions given to us by the first agent seeking out a tavern.
As you continue your way through the streets of Western Shark, you can hear the sound of laughing and talking. Two men stumble, obviously drunk, and you see a fine two-story establishment with a sign reading Little Mermaid Inn.
Seems as good a bet as any.
I entered the tavern.
I follow suit.
As
Follow.
I take the horses first to the stable boy if there is one, and then I enter the tavern after securing the horses and carriage.
Raisha remembers that the horses and carriage were stationed outside of the city of Shark.
Never mind. I enter.
As you make your way into Little Mermaid Inn, it is a luxurious place and significantly larger when compared to the other inn in Shark. Many patrons are laughing, exchanging tales. There are serving women, handling trays, pouring drinks, and a very thin, short black haired man with spectacles cleans a tankard, looks at you, and nods as he smiles.
Good evening to you.
It is a fine evening. I have just been informed that we no longer have to worry about the undead problem in Eastern Shark.
It may not have been a fine evening, but it is getting better. I'll give you that much. We're interested in rooms, possibly for the night, possibly for longer periods. If you offer any such accommodations.
We are booked at the moment. I am very sorry. Some of our more distinguished travelers made it from Eastern Shark to Western Shark, and we are completely full. Although I do understand that the inn in Eastern Shark is still operational.
That may be our best bet then.
Let us enjoy an tankard of ale before we have to go back to the lesser quality of the Eastern Shark drinking.
Yes.
Good idea.
A round of the upper crust stuff, and then we'll sleep on the beds that are available, at least.
Oh, so as I understand it, would you like a table and perhaps some of our finest ale?
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
My good man, yes, indeed.
Excellent. For the four of you, that would be 22 florins.
By the gods.
It must be really good ale. Let us sit and enjoy.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Wait, man. 22 florins is almost a shield. No way.
Perhaps
Sorry,
we
that is the price of this fine establishment. We only serve the highest quality stuff.
perhaps such vintages might be wasted on us. I looked out. Would you prefer to return to Eastern Shark for now?
Absolutely. They're more funny there. Let's go.
We thank you. I bow
May-
lightly to the innkeeper. We will be
Suit
on our way.
yourselves.
I wait a couple of steps back and give him a sigh and say, I wish I held the money purse. I would have stayed. Oh well, some other time, my dear friend, some other time. And then I follow.
And by the way, you have glass on your face, in case you haven't noticed. And I exit the tavern.
And he's left with a face doubting, looking around as if not understanding.
I retrace my steps as best I can back towards Eastern Shark and the inn where we had pre-booked some rooms.
You are welcomed by the innkeeper you met before. The establishment has been damaged, and there are even bloodstains. But as you enter, Roger, the overweight man, blond man with green eyes, speaks. Oh, my friends, I thought you had died during the zombie attack.
Thought the
Nah,
same of you?
I fought tooth and nail. We really made a mini fortress out of this building, but we managed to survive. At least most of us.
We are glad to see you and your establishment still stand, Roger.
Did you lose any close people?
Well, they were not my relatives, but they were frequent clients, and that also hurts you quite a bit. I wish we could have had you. After all, our agreement was that you would be protecting this establishment from the plague. Now, I am a reasonable man. I understand that the plague happened so spontaneously, but we could have definitely used your help.
oh, but you did use our help.
Oh, what do you mean?
How do you think the plague stopped?
Did you stop it? That is incredible, Dot. You have to be joking.
Come tomorrow night, see if the zombies return. We speak
Now,
truth.
we are tired and we would like to go to sleep.
Yes, your rooms are prepared as per an agreement, and if that is true, then we are truly blessed by the gods.
We do regret we could not be here to stand arm in arm defending this place and your friends, but ending the plague, I pause and look to Odo, Moonin, and Peter. It was the right thing to do. It saved more lives in the end.
It's
Yes, I
all the lives that are
understand.
saved in the end.
I think a small meal and then to bed is my request as well. If you have anything left, bread and cheese
Certainly,
is
certainly. He
enough.
motions for a boy. Come, Jerry, let's serve the fine gentleman and lady. The meals are prepared and served.
I ask Roger as he's going about this. How bad was the damage to Eastern Shark? I'm sure it's chaos right now. They likely haven't done a full head count of the losses, but do you have any initial ideas of how much of the population was taken?
At the very least, more than 100 died. But because a lot of those people, sadly, unfortunately, they are not exactly of importance for the nobility, they could die in a ditch and nobody would care.
A life is a life, no matter how many coins they've had in their pockets over the years. You have my sincere sympathies.
I agree, it is most tragic.
Well, hopefully, things can get a little better for your city with that and the threat of the thrill killers removed.
Ah, yes, so I heard. I cannot believe it. You are certainly a lucky charm to the city. Don't tell me. Were you responsible for that as well?
It was a busy day.
Yeah, between this
Yeah,
and that.
Wow,
we
my
were.
friends, you're like the heroes of legend. That is incredible.
My understanding is there's still troubles. Obviously, these are tomorrow's concerns, but there was still a separate serial killer, I believe, that targeted people in Eastern Shark.
Oh, that is true. I hope he was not in league with those other killers. What if he's looking for revenge?
We will remain vigilant for the entirety of our time here. That is all anyone can do. If you hear any
And
other rumors, please let me know, though. We want to try to keep the people safe who've been so good to us.
I will. You can count on me.
Thank you, Roger.
and Roger, if you treat us with some nice ale, some nice alcohol, it would be even better for us and for everyone.
Yes, that was part of the deal, of course. You had been paid in advance. Here it is on the table, just for you.
I
Appreciate
eat,
it.
I eat, I drink, I pass the time, and
And
once
then
done with
Fred,
that, yeah, I retire for the night, exhausted.
The night goes on with no disturbances, and a new day arrives.
shall we back to Western Shark and go talk to the alchemist, possibly to the library?
I ask the others to wait while I do my usual morning routine of stretches and sword forms and things. But within a half hour, I return to them and say, I'm ready to go. And I head to Western Shark.
Yes,
Yes, we do.
back to Western.
Following the instructions of the scroll given to you, it is easy enough to find the alchemist's shop. You see a halfling, long brown hair, dressed with a stained apron, running around the entrance of the two-story building that is abnormally narrow when compared to the other buildings. You can hear the halfling speak out loud. For heaven's sake, where did I leave it? Where did I leave what? Oh, it's in my pocket. Oh yeah. And he suddenly spots you as you're approaching the shop. Ah, welcome, welcome. Are you looking for valuable alchemical substances? Welcome, come in, please, come in.
Thank you.
What happened to
Yes.
you?
Ah, I couldn't find this. It's a small copper piece. Is needed for some of my alchemical experiments, but it is no matter. I had it in my pocket all along. So come in, and make yourself at home in my humble shop. See if you like something. I have all sorts of things here. Potions to enhance your strength. I have curative ointments. Uh, look around.
Did your experiments and potions make you that short?
Ah, no, that's well. Even among my kind of halflings, I was not particularly blessed with high stature. I'm always having trouble finding a girlfriend. But well, what can you do, right?
I look at my brothers and sister. Halfling? What is this short
Yes,
man?
it's you are not familiar with us. What? Oh, we are small people. That's all there is to us, and we like to eat. We are pretty normal.
Much like gnomes, there are other demi-human species, some of which are smaller in stature than men.
Although gnomes are usually wiser in the ways of magic, us halflings, we are more interested in scientific endeavors.
Don't sell yourself short. Your skills as an alchemist seem to be quite fruitful.
Yes, I am actually known as the best alchemist in Asteria. I kid you not.
How much
Maybe
for the
because you're the only one?
The best one at the very least, but well, the competition is still present. That's always something I have to keep in mind.
how much for the curative tincture? We benefited from something similar when well, we stood alongside some of the guards in Eastern Shark against the undead.
Yes, they
It
always
may have,
purchase my ointments. It's 25 florins per dose.
it may have been responsible for keeping us alive. That is, of course, costly. I don't suppose you could throw out a bit of information. We're also looking,
Information.
yes, uh, we're looking for a man who may owe us a pittance of money, a trifling matter, but we heard he may have been seen here within the past few days. I'm not sure how it's pronounced or if it's a common name, but Palemon? Pylamon?
Alemon.
Could be
Ah, he
that.
was
No, I think it was
here.
Pylamon, but he owes us some pittance of money.
With which we could
Ah,
purchase more of your ointments.
Yes, quite right. Do you know
hmm.
anything about this man? Or woman, actually. I don't know the gender for such a name. So.
I did see him. He is quite famous and infamous around these parts. He
Hmm.
did make his way inside. He was accompanied by a raven-haired beauty. That woman was incredible. She had blue eyes, and they were in constant conversation. If it's the same Palamon, then yeah, definitely he came in here.
Do you know anything about where in Western Shark he may be spending his time or putting his feet up at the end of the day?
Hmm. Well, don't think of me as an eavesdropper, but he sometimes mentioned that there was more to Shark that meets the eye. He was convinced that there was a secret in the tower, but I would recommend you stay away from the tower. It is known as the Cursed Tower here in Shark.
Well,
Hmm.
I think we certainly should buy that healing potion, yes, brothers
Yes, I
in
have
arms?
plenty of
Yes.
them. 25 florins.
I purchased one.
Well, 25. What about 20?
The good
Uh,
halfling has already been more than generous with his generation information. We should not haggle with him after that.
but I'm not
But
sure that too many people will buy his healing potions.
you're right. I will make it 30. I give him additional 5. Would you like it to be more?
I, w- I, would,
Oh,
uh, I would suggest we buy two for the price of 40 and everybody wins.
I would suggest we leave the man alone. He has been most
oh,
generous with his information.
that is most generous of you as well, lady. 30 per dose. Yes, please purchase as many as you want.
Consider it a tip for your forthrightness.
Ah, well, I didn't want to mention this because um it's not exactly perhaps very relevant, but I did notice that Palemon was also making his way. to the baker. Apparently, he had a taste for such delicious pastries here in Western Shark.
To your knowledge, did he go alone or with the raven-haired woman?
He actually went alone that time. I was actually making my way back from purchasing some ingredients for my alchemical substances and mixtures, and I saw him going alone.
Well, thank you. We have a bit of time to kill. Perhaps we will head over that way and sample the local delicacies. Does anyone
Very
else have
well.
any purchases for our fine halfling alchemist here?
No, I think we have spent enough money already.
Yeah.
I exit the shop and wait for the others to reconvene.
As we go out, I do catch up with Gracia. Sister in Iron, perchance, do not pay more than what is requested. That does not fly under the radar.
We got something for it. He gave us more leads than he would have otherwise.
We did, and that was good, but we do not want to call attention. I would have rather he had already given us some information. I would rather he remembers us less and give us maybe one less information that give him more than he had asked and have him clearly remember us.
He
Remember,
may be a halfling moon, but he functions on basic psychology. If there's someone he likes, someone he wishes to return as a customer, a friend, an ally, he's less likely to report them to nefarious parties. If we're complete assholes to him and he wants us
oh no,
dead for
no.
other reasons, then he'll certainly report us for nothing.
I complete assholes I was not recommending. I don't
You
think we
catch
should have haggled, but I don't think we should have paid more. I think we try to stay as gray as possible, as less memorable as possible in all our interactions.
I look to the massive scarred figure of Odo and our various. I say, we're going to be memorable, unfortunately. There's only so much we can do about that. But I'd rather they remember us well, the people of Shark.
Maybe
Catch
the
more
good
flies with
halfling.
honey.
Maybe the good halfling is something for my skin. You know, unless
Perhaps. But we
How
do
do we
have a
want to
lead
go
at the
about this?
baker.
I
We-
think we're more likely to find Palamon if we find his raven-haired, blue-eyed companion. That is a description that wouldn't be hard to spot, and we have no idea what Palamon looks like, other than he's a man.
so.
And
We are finally looking for a lady, aren't we?
maybe
As a
maybe
means to an end, but yes.
if we hurry, he's at the baker alone. Maybe still there.
I plan to head there in any case. It's our most cogent lead. So
I stop for a second and reflect on my own words, and then I try to remember, because we do know Palamon. We have met him in our youth. So I try to
it's been
remember his face. I spend some time trying to picture him in my head.
Munin remembers Palamon as a man with short beard and mustache, of a honey-colored hair. His eyes constantly shift between blue and green, almost as if they are magical. And Munin remembers that Palamon is reputed to have celestial blood in him.
So we'll
His
be
hair
on the
is
lookout
long and
for
tied in a ponytail.
we will be on the lookout for a man that matches our memories, and we will be on the lookout for a woman with raven hair and blue eyes. Those are striking features.
I wish to go to the baker next, as if there's even a possibility that lead is good. But if you wish to split up, we can. Otherwise, we can all go there first, and then our other agendas.
I am not sure splitting up would ever be a good idea.
Nah,
Very
if they
good.
have assassins after us,
Very
Let's
good.
go
stay
together.
united.
Let's go.
Let's go
Let's go eat some
together.
sweets.
Okay.
All right.
You easily make your way to the bakery. There are many stalls exhibiting all sorts of pastries, pies, cookies, loaves of bread, and a very tall, long bearded man, his head wrapped around in a white rag, has his hands filled with flour, smiling as many people are making purchases, and a short, thin woman is receiving the payment for the bread. The man spots you and speaks. Have you come to enjoy our bread?
I'm already enjoying the smell. I'm sure it only gets better from there.
Yes. Oh, it is so good. I've been baking this for years now, and I'm still crazy for my own creations.
Only sampled the bread of East Shark up to now, and I swear I was chewing on rocks up to at many points. This is quite refreshing, good sir.
Understandable. Please help yourselves. We have a special offer. The cookies are just 3 florins for cookies, and in the case of a loaf of bread, 5 florins per loaf. As you can see, it is quite big.
Hmm. Let me ponder for a moment. They both seem so tempting. I moved back to stand alongside my brothers for a moment, pondering the purchases, and I'd look around the shop for any sort of indication of writing anywhere, any parcels marked as if they're being held for specific customers, while scanning, the various goods for sale.
There is nothing noteworthy.
An acquaintance mentioned this place in passing. He said that someone named, I forgot what was her boyfriend's name, Pylamon, recommended a specific dish here. Do you know the man? What does he usually order?
Alemon, he is a
That's
regular.
the one. Palamon. I'm sorry. Pronunciations.
Yes, I haven't seen him. Ah, yes, he was 3 days ago. 3 days ago, he was actually here. But it looked like he was about to leave the city. It sounded to me he was speaking to this wiry looking individual. I could barely see his face. He was mentioning that he had heard 2 rumors. One, that he would be traveling to the south to investigate a so-called haunted mansion far to the south. But there was also mention of the Cursed Tower here in Western Shark. The very strange places to visit, if you ask me.
But you said he left the city. Hopefully, he was wise enough to buy some of your bread for the road.
Yes, he actually did purchase for the long trip. I am guessing that he was leaving the city because I haven't seen him. And he was talking about the haunted mansion in the south, but also mentioning the tower here, which is cursed. You don't think he went to the cursed tower, do you? Nobody comes out of there alive.
I was thinking of cookies, honestly. I'm sorry. This man and his itinerary are not. But thank you for sharing. The cookies, yes, gentlemen?
Yes, the
Yes, four
cookies.
florins, 4 cookies, one
I
for
will pay
each.
you exactly the amount you're asking, and not a florin more, I say with a wink to Blue.
Excellent.
Ooh, these are delicious.
The
Indeed.
cookies are incredible. The best cookies you have ever eaten in your life.
So,
I revel in it, and then start walking out of the shop.
good day.
And
I'm sure we will be
casually,
return customers. I give him a wave.
Fare thee well.
all right, so the tower it is, right, brothers, sister?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Let's
I
go to
Nobody,
the tower.
nobody
take a
comes out
moment.
alive from this cursed tower. That's a
Well,
new
we're
one.
not going in quite yet, but let's go take a look-see.
It seems he may. I pause and glance around to ensure no one is immediately in eavesdropping distance before discussing further. It seems he may have investigated the tower within the city, but he's already departed for some other location to the south, a manor. Correct?
I am not 100% sure. It seems to me that he may have been dropping hints about the tower. If he was speaking loudly, the alchemist, at the baker, um, so as to be heard. It seems to me that maybe he is making sure that he could be found there. Now, I don't know if he knows that we are here, but it is a possibility I would not discard.
He may have been leaving us a breadcrumb trail of sorts of information. You're correct. So,
So I say we go check out the tower, not necessarily go in, but check what it looks like and see if there's anything that we can surmise in the surroundings.
or there could be people there who have additional sightings of him.
Yeah.
So why don't we stop and do our less pressing business on the way? The armorer or the weapons dealer who might be able to provide a bow and arrow, unless
If
anyone else has any
I
purchases.
Well, maybe we want to purchase armor and weapons in the east side. I mean, if they charge
So
free
much. Yeah.
so much for a bisque for a cookie, I don't want to start thinking how much they could charge for a shield. That makes nonsense.
That makes sense. And we did see that the quality of the craftsmanships in East Shark was still very good. The
Yeah.
armor, at least,
Indeed.
was definitely a good man. So
We may want to
I
at least
agree.
acquire if the armor in Eastern Shark survived, but otherwise, I agree.
Yeah, let's check that. Let us take a
Yes.
gander at the tower and see what we can find out.
So I pause and say, brothers, are we returning to the armor first and then to examine the tower?
I say let's look at the tower first, if you don't mind. I would
If-
not like to waste a chance to meet with Palamon if he's indeed getting ready to leave. If he has not left already, I don't want to waste the opportunity.
Fair enough. Let's go then.
Following the directions of the scroll, which contain warnings of staying away from the tower as it is cursed, you spot the structure immediately. The tower is 4 stories tall, completely of a light gray color. It looks out of place compared to the other buildings in Shark. The seams of the bricks cannot be seen. A circular tower. The very top, a white dome. No windows. And a single entrance with 2 wooden doors that are closed.
I keep my distance, but look about to see if there are any other curious onlookers examining the tower as we are in the vicinity.
I'm looking for guards who may be outside the tower.
Both Resha and Peter realize that there are almost no people around the area. At most, a single man washing the entrance of his home to the side. No one else, not even animals, are nearby.
I look around to take notice of the architecture of the buildings around the tower. How much space between the tower and the buildings? Is it a kind of square?
About 40 feet away from the tower.
In a circle.
I lean in to speak quietly to Moon and the others and say, well, we know that man nearby lives close enough to the tower. He could have observed Palamon and whomever he was with when he was here. But further, do you think this place could have magic about it? Would you be able to tell anything?
From this distance, I don't know, but I will try to find out. I take a moment to breathe, settle in, and try to sense any powers that may be coming from the tower.
It is clear to Munin that the tower is a source of powerful magic. The entire structure radiates power.
I try to
So
figure out what kind of magic it might be, the quality.
A mixed sensation almost overpowers Munin. Energies that could heal, energies that could destroy, energies that could reveal, energies that could hide. A kaleidoscope of magical powers.
There's much at work here, brothers and sister. There is magic of many kinds, healing and nefarious, of knowledge and of trickery.
I obviously have never experienced magic the way you have, Moonin, but if there's any possibility that Palamon could have left some message for us via magic, you would be the only one to know. But Peter, you have the keenest eyes to find conventionally hidden things. Would you mind doing a quick circuit to see if it's possible Palamon might have left something for us to discover? It's a long shot, but
I'm having a look around. If there's any kind of, let's say, some kind of secret message or maybe some sign.
Peter cannot spot any sign or mark, but judging by the floor in front of the doors, it is clear to Peter that at the very least, no one has entered this tower in at least 3 days.
Okay, guys, I think we saw somebody here washing the entrance of his house. Maybe we can approach him
I'd like to speak to him, yes.
discreetly and just
Might
ask
this
him.
be a moment where we do not separate, but we do not move all at once?
I was about to suggest maybe Reisha can take the talk. We stay
Take
a
a
few
look,
days.
see around. Yeah, ready,
Yes.
ready for any eventuality, but not moving all
I'll see
together.
you all in just a bit, then. I'll signal you if anything seems untoward. I approach the man.
A man in elegant clothes with short brown hair and eyes notices you approaching. He puts away a bucket and speaks to you. Lady, and your companions as well. I would recommend that you stay away from that tower. It is an ominous structure. It is a structure of curses, or so I have been always told all my life, and I never disrespect such matters.
I appreciate your warning. We had heard as much, some sort of a curse, I believe. The legend goes.
Yes, yes. Nobody makes it out. Once every time I've seen someone go in, they never come out.
Is this your property here? That must be quite trying living so close to, well, a cursed structure like that.
Yes, but this is my humble home. Yes, but I would prefer to live away from this part, but it's not that easy to get an affordable home here in Western Shark.
I completely understand. Yes, it's a very, very expensive region. I didn't mean to trouble you, but since you do live so close to this structure, you might have observed there's an individual we've been looking for. I give the description the baker provided, the wiry man who was seen with Palamon. That is the man we're looking for. He's gone by a few different names. It's a small matter. He's not in any great trouble, just a matter of bookkeeping and owing a small pittance of money. He was seen with another man, and I give Palamon's description. Did you see either of them? Again, we're looking for the wiry one, but one might lead to the other.
I do not remember anyone by that description, but the other individual, the one with the like
The
honey
eyes.
colored hair, I did see him 3 days ago near the tower with a woman with very long black hair. She was very pretty. They were moving about the tower. I paid no attention to them. I didn't want them to somehow pass on their whatever cars they may acquire from venturing too close to the structure.
Of course. I hope they avoided actually entering the tower. That would be madness, yes?
Oh, certainly no. Let's hope not. It would be certain death, I'm sure.
Did you see any sign of where they went after that? Did they return to Western Shark or did they leave the city? Or did you not observe that?
I don't know. I needed to go to the bathroom. I just saw them, and then nature called.
Understood. Well, I understand that leaving this part of the city could be quite a difficult thing that'll require you to save your florins whenever you can. So, best of luck with that. If you should remember anything about the wiry man we're looking for, I can pay for such information, or any of his associates, the dark haired woman, the man with the changing eyes. The wiry man, again, is the one I'm most curious about.
Oh, I will. I will pay attention. Yes, I will.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You as well.
I return to the others. And I relate what both the tactic I took in the discussion and that we really didn't learn a great deal. He was here with the woman. We don't really know. So, as of 3 days ago, it would seem his whereabouts become ambiguous. He could have entered the tower, but more likely he did leave the city, heading to this manor to the south.
We know
What?
that the woman is not as well known around here as Palamon is. Many people recognize his name, the baker, the alchemist, and nobody seemed to know the woman's name. So that would tell me that she's more of a stranger in the city, someone who's not as often seen around the streets.
That
Possibly
stands to reason, yes.
so I wonder who these people are and what they might be looking for. Going to the south seems like a long shot right now, like starting a journey with just a cardinal direction does not seem like a good way to find this man. Should we go investigate at the library?
Yeah,
Uh,
one thing. If the guy and the lady, well, they came up here just to look at the tower.
I doubt it.
So I think they got in, maybe left something and then went out, but I assume they went in because just coming here, taking a look to the tower. What for?
If we do hit
Maybe
the library, we might learn more both about the Cursed Manor and the Cursed Tower, so we have more idea of the legends associated with both before we poke too
there's
further into either.
Why is it always curses? The cursed island, the cursed tower, the cursed manor. Aye.
Seems that is our curse in life.
Well,
maybe Palamon knew, and that lady, they knew more about this attack of the undead, and maybe they used this place here, this cursed tower, to protect themselves from this attack. We don't know definitely. I mean, it is advertised as the cursed tower that nobody lives alive, but maybe this is a passage to another place, to another dimension or whatever, or maybe to protect from something that goes on outside, like the attack of the undead.
All
So
could
it is
be.
possible. The tower did have
Anything.
magic of benign nature as well as evil, so it is possible.
We
Anything
know,
is possible.
yeah. Have you noticed that we know another thing that can be good and evil at the same time?
Yep.
Humanity.
maybe if we go to the library and maybe
No.
we find more information about this tower here, maybe it has some
Right.
secrets that would be worth investigating or discovering.
I agree. We can stop at the armor on the way, and then we can proceed on to the library to research both of these sites, the manor and the nearby tower.
Sister in iron and brothers in iron. There is a library in the western part of Shark as well. And I would rather explore that than the little library in the eastern side of Shark.
which was wasted by the zombies, by the way.
Yes.
There's
Yes.
very little
No,
there to be found, and if Palama visited the library in the western side of Shark, I would like to have that information.
But
agreed.
there's a gnome who locked inside a tiny room, leaving us exposed to the zombies. I have not forgotten about that, but maybe later.
Yes, I told him to do so, Odo. He was a non-combatant. He had to do what he had to do to live.
You
We
did?
all, yes.
I didn't notice I was hacking at zombies.
No, it's quite all right. I hope he made it through the night. Yes, but we don't have time to check on him. I agree. The Western Library probably has real intact books that aren't destroyed. Lunan's correct. We should go to that one. I'm indifferent whether we stop at the armorer first or simply head to the library to do our research, so long as we do both during daylight hours.
Let's go to the library.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
You find the library immediately following the directions of the scroll. It is a narrow 3-story building, very elegant in its design, with a triangular shaped roof. The building is closed, but you can see activity inside as various people through the windows are moving around tables, shelves, opening books.
Books.
Building is closed, you said. Shall we go knock on the door?
Okay. I
Okay.
approach the door and knock 3 times.
A woman with long black hair that is braided and brown eyes opens up and immediately puts her finger to her mouth in a sign of silence, and with her hand gestures you for you to come in.
Go in.
We follow in.
I proceed in.
An atmosphere, ambience of absolute silence is immediately noticed as you step inside, as everybody is trying to move as carefully as possible. And the woman speaks to you almost in a hushed tone. I am Camila. If you need any help with the books, let me know. Please be respectful of the other people here. They are in deep study.
Oh, well.
Thank you, Camilla.
I look around the library and try to, without needing to ask for help, find books on local history, folklore, and architecture.
The organization of the library is so excellent that Moonin immediately can immediately see the sections he is looking for, as they are all clearly marked with large signs.
So I direct my feet to those sections and I start looking for tomes and scrolls and books on the Cursed Tower and start reading on everything I can get my fingers on.
I will look for anything I can in the local histories of the structure to the south. Or I look for it in any case. I look for books on the haunted mansion to the south that we heard rumored.
I will look for
Moonin,
attacks of undead in Western Shark or maybe Eastern Shark from past cases.
And I will simply remove my helm and smile with my heavily scarred face to the lady.
although hesitates awkwardly for a moment, thinking in the future, but does just that. and the woman seems to intentionally try to ignore Odo. It is clear to Munin and Resha that at the very least an hour will be needed, and to Peter as well, to carry out the research.
That seems like an hour well spent, so I do. I spend an hour going through the tomes, reading as much as I can.
Take your time. I can stay here for whole day long.
I quietly go about
As
researching as well during that hour.
as Odo uh, attempts to showcase his charm to the librarian, Risha, Munin, and Peter discover details about Western, Eastern, Shark, and outside even. In the case of Peter, there is no history of undead attacks in none of the documents he has been looking through. In the case of Resha, she stumbles almost by surprise on a few paragraphs dedicated to a mansion far in the south, many days into the south, with nobility that is loyal to Bright Knights. The Bright Knights, based on other information that Resha goes through, were the predecessors of the Black Knights. In the case of Munin, he discovers that the structure, the tower, was was there even before Shark. The tower existed long before Shark, and it remains a source of speculation, rumors, legends, and mysteries until this very day. And it has been avoided by everyone due to the many legends of curses and ill omens.
I do a little bit more research trying to discern whether or not the Bright Knights were specifically associated with King Ralph's predecessor, the more benevolent king who came before him.
No such information was found.
I return to the others.
Shall we ask the librarian about Palamon?
Yes. Would you like me to proceed?
I can do that.
Let Resha do it.
So, perhaps I'll handle this one, Odo. Okay. I approach. I approach with Odo, the librarian.
Oh. Oh. I am sorry, kind lady. Can I ask you a bit of information?
Well, considering you have been looking at me this entire time, I guess that's the least I can do. What do you want to know?
Oh well, um, well, we have been told about a man whose name is Polemon or Pelimon or something like that. He's a
Paladin
do you happen to know him? Because
came 4 days, 4 days ago.
Did
okay,
he check out any books or inquire about any things here? We were trying to find any leads to track him.
He actually purchased one of our. It's a book that almost no one reads. It's a very, very thin book, very thick, thin tome about the region of the south. But he became a bit flustered as he couldn't find more information about the tower here in Shark, the cursed tower, you know.
I slap Odo on the chest and, keeping my voice quiet, I say, then he is the one we're looking for. It's actually the book we're looking for. We've been commissioned to find it, but we were told someone purchased it before our benefactor could do so. Can you give us any more details about the book or the man? Are there any other copies of this book elsewhere?
It was the only copy, and that's why I sold it at a hefty price. But there we have no other copies, I'm afraid.
Do you have the exact title of this book to ensure it's the one that we've been sent to seek?
Yes, it's Wonders of the South.
That was the one. And you say you haven't seen him since that time, this purchaser?
No.
Well, we may have to look elsewhere then to try to acquire the book. I thank you. Are there any other similar tomes, if not that one, that our client might accept as a runner-up? I would not obviously try to fool one of the nobles into thinking we got something other than what was requested, but something might be better than nothing.
No, I do not believe we have such tomes, but I find it very curious that this Mr. Palaman was searching into matters so dreadful. The tower has been reputed to be a source of ill omens for many years, but as I understand it, the he did mention this house in the south, but it is also reputed to be haunted. So why is he looking into such matters? Could it be like a hobby of his?
He's probably just a rare book collector like our own clients. People get bored, and when you have too much money and time, you start to collect strange things. I wouldn't overthink it.
That could be a possibility, yes.
Give her my thanks with a little bow. Say, well,
Well,
that'll be all then, unless you have any other inquiries for this kind woman.
thank you. I didn't know books could be that beautiful.
She smiles for an instant and then becomes serious. Yes, well, I have work to do. Uh, I wish you luck on your pursuits.
We thank you. I depart, regroup with Moonin and Peter.
And we leave the library.
Outside, I quietly summarize what we learned. Seems he purchased that expensive book on the south, and that was 4 days ago. So odds
Many
are
days to
he's
the south. He might be there already. What do you think our next steps should be? We could try finding the people he was seen with, the woman or the wiry man. They might not be with him, or we might try to go to the south. The first agent himself said it wouldn't be bad for us to leave the city for a period of time.
I
Or
was
we
thinking as
try
much.
entering the tower and dying there.
I did research the manor to the south, found some interesting things. It was connected with an order of knights that later became the Black Knights, but their predecessors, the Bright Knights. If I glance around before proceeding, again, to ensure we have anonymity, and say, if Palamon is as we suspect, this could be anything, but ideally, maybe this could be a meeting of like-minded souls. The manor is a few days to the south. While we would not catch him, he might be lingering there. That is my recommendation.
We could. It is
Resha
also
spots
possible.
someone for a moment on the corner of her eye that darts into an alleyway.
I abruptly, loudly changed the subject to, weren't those cookies good? And giving a gesture with my head to indicate that we're being observed and try to lead the others away.
I think we should move.
The alchemist mentioned that what Palamon was talking about was the tower possibly leading somewhere. Do you think it is possible that the tower and the manor are connected? Physically, magically, or both?
Anything is possible where sorcery is
Entered the
concerned.
tower and gone. Could it be that anybody who enters the tower never comes back because the tower is a passage to somewhere else?
I do recall, though, some people reporting seeing him physically leaving to the south. There were some mixed messages we received.
Nobody saw him leave, at least not that I recall.
Raisha
People
remembers
said
that
that
nobody saw him leave.
people said he was getting ready to leave, but nobody
That's
saw
right.
him leave.
Hmm.
Is something I don't know. This tower does fascinate me. I am worried about the prospect, but also I would like to investigate it more.
If you want to go in, I will follow you.
Yes.
My
So,
recommendation would be to proceed to the south. We do have a good idea of where to find it based on my research, and if
And
we do need
have
to get out of town to lay low, so
and we do have a chariot that we can take, so we
that
could do
would be
that.
my recommendation, of course. But
That's wise.
Then let us do so. Before we take our leave from the city, we should make those last purchases. But also, I would like to go check the tower out one more time. Not go inside, but to its neighboring region. I would like to try and learn more about it, possibly through the use of a spell of my own.
all right.
Shields.
And then
Yes.
shields, bow and arrow, and then we take the cart, the chariot, and the horses, and we go south.
Sounds excellent. Let's do so.
So we make our way back to the square where the tower is, and once we are there, I concentrate, and again try to match my breathing to the vibrations of the surrounding, and start letting the elements of nature that are nearby curse through me, and I expand my understanding of things and try to connect with the tower to truly gain an understanding of what may lie inside it and what may its powers be.
Moonin realizes that he would need to spend a portion of his magical power to
Yes, I
accomplish.
plan to do so. I plan to do so. I intend to do so. That is what I want.
Moonin has visions clear as day of Palamon and the long-haired woman with black hair entering the tower 3 days ago. And that's the end of the session. That is
Good
the end of the
call.
session. Excellent. Well, that was really good. Really, really good. What do you think about the session?
Yeah, we've got some good leads. Some different avenues for making
Yeah,
progress in the investigation. So that's very nice. Like that.
a very interesting change of pace compared to the like breakneck speed and constant almost dying of last time, and this
Yeah.
more investigative and quite interesting.
Yeah, it kind of went from one like end of the world quick time event to the next to actually having some time to kind of get the lay of the land, speak to NPCs, get some leads and run an investigation. So that was keeps it
Yeah.
fresh, keeps it different.
Yeah, it was
moving
fun
around.
walking
Yeah.
around. Yeah, move to the city,
Mhm.
and bits of the stories are surfacing, like an order of maybe good knights, before they became the Black Knights. And I liked a lot the idea that Munin said that this could be a passage, and I'm convinced that they got in. So when you realize that using magic, it's a
Mhm.
confirmation. But now I think that we should go into the tower, even though Raisha's advice was very wise, and that sounded like the best plan. But now that we know that they got in, I think that's where we need to go, mates.
Yeah, it felt this cursed tower was set up very nicely, like a magnet to us, magnetizing us and making us want to go there. So definitely.
Everything cursed, everything cursed, everything cursed. Damn
That
it.
is kind of a theme. We're
Yeah,
the
it
cursed
is.
children of the cursed island.
Oh,
Going
yeah,
to the
yeah.
cursed tower.
Born on the cursed month of the cursed day.
Dang it. Couldn't it be in a blessed tower, like for once? All right, fine.
They wouldn't let us in.
Fine, fine. The
That's not our
cursed tower
space.
is fine, fine. We shall.
But it's got this dual nature, like the bell that we're carrying. So I don't know. It seems
Yeah,
to
no, it
be.
is. It is very, very compelling.
Yeah.
As Moonin, I'm definitely drawn to it. Like we said at the beginning, like I was saying at the beginning of the session, I am particularly interested in furthering my understanding of how magic works and how these magical artifacts, especially the bell, might work. So anything that has a dual nature, a dual magical nature, is greatly interesting to me. And hopefully will help enlighten me on how I can interact with the bell and everything that surrounds it.
I wonder if Munin will try to ring the bell inside of the tower.
Not
As
without
we answer,
approval.
as we
You never
answer,
know.
ding,
You
ding,
never
ding,
know.
ding. Hello.
Nope,
Just to say hello.
not quite my plan right now. I mean, you never know, but not something I plan on doing right now.
Yeah, I mean, Raish would probably still opt to the like. Let's just go to the manor to the south, but I suspect she'll probably get outvoted, and we'll depending on how Peter goes, of course. So, yeah, but we'll find out next session. So,
Yep.
Well, thank you again for playing, and thank you to everyone else at home. This has been a great session. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe. And thank you so much to those of you that are going the extra mile to support the channel. If anyone else wishes to further support the channel, consider joining as a member using the Super Thanks button. Take a look at the information in the description, the pinned comment. This has been your host, Abraham L. Jaguar, a professional game master. And remember, master roleplay and you will master the game. Once again, thank you all and see you later. I'm going to stop the recording in 10 seconds.